All right, guys, so today we're talking about the M5. Now, I'm going to tell you why you should buy one of these cars in 2020. They're getting to be more rare. Like I've said many, many times, I think the market is at the bottom right now. Well, with the current pandemic, it's unknown at the very second. But in general, the market is at the bottom. You can pick these cars up in a broken state, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 grand. One that's well sorted, you're looking 17 to 20 to 25. Depends on what your definition of well sorted is. But in my opinion, this would be a relic, just as the E36 M3 and now the E46 M3 that's gone through the roof. There along with the E39 M5. You know, all this stuff, there's no more being made. There are limited production cars. There's a fair amount of these. I think there's what, 15,000 of these cars made or something like that. You got to figure how many of those have been wrecked, how many of those are no longer around, or just kids get a hold of them and just ruin them and they end up in a scrap yard or parted out on eBay. And that's real common too. It's the only car you could really get the V10 in as far as BMW, the 507 horsepower race-driven V10. It's also one of the only E60s you get the SMG box in also. You know, there's many options on this car you can't buy in any other E60, and that's a special order, right? So the Alcantara headliner, the Alcantara, all the A, B, and C pillars, heads-up display, you got the big brakes. Some E60s you get big brakes on. You know, everything's just a little bit different. It's the same looking car, but just a little bit different in almost every way. And you could actually get these wheels on all those E60s too. That's pretty common on the sport cars, not the standard issue. But you don't get them in 19s. You get them in 18s. So you get 19s on these. Many other things. The piano black door moldings, that's something else too. You see those on other cars sometimes, but it's not very common. And the air activated seat bolsters, that's another thing. You get the M wheel. You can find the M wheel on other E60s. The mirrors, I'm not sure if these are available or not on other cars, but the mirrors are dramatically different. There's just a lot more electronics to it. As far as the sport bumpers, you know, you could have special order stuff with that on it, M Sport stuff with that on it. The rear is only E60, you get the quad exhaust. I'm trying to hold this lens still, but it's not really a walk around lens. These tires are not for this car, by the way. It's only E60, you get the quad exhaust. And, you know, I guess really that bumper, right? And for the US, it's a rarity to have the parking sensors. This has the parking sensors and so forth. I mean, other than that, it's just a really overall cool car. So I did forget to show you guys a couple things. A couple other updates, I just remembered, is the fender vents. If you guys remember, AutoZone or O'Reilly, somebody was selling those. Everybody's put them on all their cars about 10 years ago. That's the reason why. Also, the limited slip differential is super aggressive in these, and that is the only BMW I know of in the 4-door that has that. So in my opinion, it is worth buying the car, and they are available right now. Are they a pain in the butt? Of course they are. This one's a total nightmare. You know, is it worth dealing with it? I hope so. I think it is in the long run. If you buy the car at the right price, and this is where it gets weird with these cars, that if you buy one at the $7,000 to $8,000 price point, or you buy one at the $17,000 price point, if nobody's done anything to it or the proper things to it, you're gonna have to do all the same things over again. All the stuff I'm doing to this, that's got to be done with a lot of these cars, regardless of what shape they're in. Nobody's gonna pay anybody to do those things to one of these cars, right? You know, we spent about $5 grand just on parts in this car. Just on parts. That's buying stuff at like my cost on things at the right places, not having a shop buy the parts for you and marking them up. You know, we have no labor costs in this car. And that's a lot of the reason why these cars get kind of just bandaged up and sent on their way as totally sorted. It doesn't make financial sense to do that if you have to pay somebody to do that. We're probably every bit of $20,000-$25,000 in labor in this car. If you had to take it to a shop and have them do it, if you took it to the dealer, you're probably way over 30. The kind of stuff we had to do to it, it just, you know, from the control arms, you hear that or not, the wind's blowing outside, from the control arms to the rod bearings, and now to the throttle actuators, to this endless amount of money we spent on it, all the brakes, the wheels and the tires, and we're not done yet. You know, go through the exhaust, it's tons of hoses, the Vanos update hose. I can't even remember all the stuff. We've done so much to it. It's past my memory. We still got to sort the LCI taillight problem. I'm sure there's going to be other issues pop up. We need to sort the SMG updated pump, because if we don't do the updated pump, eventually that'll be a problem. Just so much to them. But in the very end, it is a car that's capable of 200 miles an hour, and it's a 4-door family looking car. Not really a family car, a family looking car, with the V10. So that's my thoughts on it. You know, do I regret buying this car? No, I don't. Not at this point, not at all. I knew what it was going to be. I did the research before I bought it, and it had a few things. It should have had some of the things done a long time ago that just weren't. And in conclusion, it makes me wonder how somebody drove a car with so many problems until it was to this point. However, that's every BMW I've ever seen is like that. It's just like, how do you drive something like that with 100 different problems? I really don't know. I guess you can't afford to fix it, so you just got to do what you could do to try to drive it to work. I don't really know. That's beyond me. But this is not an everyday car. It never was an everyday car. This is drive it. You could drive it a few days a week, 1 day a week, 1 day a year, whatever your method is. But it is a novelty car, as I say. That's gonna be it, guys. Hope you liked the video. Just kind of give me some insight about what these cars really are, and should you go buy one. If you can do all the work you see me doing the videos yourself, then yes, you should. If you can do nothing yourself, hell no, don't buy this car. This car will empty your bank account out. I don't care who you are. It'll drain it in a minute. So beware of that. That's it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Also, my kitty's up there. I don't know what he's doing. He's doing something. Staring at that drainage pipe. Who knows? And also, just to update you guys, we got this side of the roof down in the shop. It's all wavy because it's not all screwed down. I'll go back and do that tomorrow. My string lines up, get all that worked out. And last update, all the parts will be here tomorrow, which will be today for you guys for this video. So by the time you watch this video, hopefully the M5's up and running. We can do some more driving in it, and maybe actually go do a real test drive, not have check engine light and reduce power. Also, I just wanted to add, guys, don't label out the E90 M3 or E92 M3 or E91 M3, depends on what you're into, a coupe, sedan, or convertible. The S65, which that car has, which is a V8, it's basically a V8 version of the V12. And it can be very good, but it does share a lot of the same issues as the V12 does, just with less power. But if you're not into the E60 chassis, if that chassis scares you, there's a lot of electronics in it. The E90, there's not near as much. It's probably a little easier to maintain. Those sell for, I would say, a pretty good one, about 11, 12 grand. For a really good one, about the same price, about 20. Really good one, like super low miles that supposedly is kept up. But just thought I'd throw that in there at the end of this video, that don't overlook the E90 chassis for the M3. And heck, now F10 M5 is coming down in price. So it just kind of depends on what you want, really. Like if you're into F10 chassis or E60 chassis, the price isn't that dramatic on them. Same way with the E90. So I throw that in there, guys. We'll see you later.